Have you ever heard of a motorcycle company that won the Isle of Man TT in its very first year of competition? A brand so dominant that it once held over 100 world records. Today, we're diving into the legendary and often dramatic story of AJS, a true pioneer of the British motorcycle industry. The story begins with a humble workshop in Wolverhampton, England, at the turn of the 20th century. Joseph Stevens, an engineer with a knack for innovation, owned the Stevens Screw Company. But it was his four sons, Harry, George, Jack, and Joe Jr., who had a burning passion for the newfangled motor bicycle. AJS was founded by the Stevens brothers. The company was initially called A.J. Stevens and Company, with the initials AJS derived from the first name of Albert John Jack Stevens, who was the only brother with two first names. For years, the Stevens brothers supplied engines to various manufacturers, honing their skills and dreaming of the day they could build a complete machine under their own name. That day finally came November 14, 1909. They founded A.J. Stevens and Company, Wolverhampton Limited. The name AJS was chosen using the initials of the only brother with a middle name, Albert John Jack Stevens. It was a simple, memorable name that would soon be etched into motorcycling history. Their first model, the AJS Model A, was a modest machine, but it was just the beginning. The real breakthrough came just a few years later when, in 1914, AJS entered the legendary and perilous Isle of Man Jr. TT race. Against all odds, their 350cc machine didn't just compete, it dominated. AJS riders secured first, second, third, fourth, and sixth places. It was an astonishing debut that instantly catapulted the brand to international fame. The public went wild for the TT-winning AJS, and sales soared. Throughout the 1920s, AJS was on an unstoppable roll. They were a powerhouse of innovation and racing success. They introduced overhead valve engines, side valve V-twins, and famously, the Big Port AJS overhead valve 350cc racer, so named for its massive exhaust port. This bike became a legend on the dirt tracks and road circuits of the era. By the mid-20s, AJS was producing over 100 different models, from small commuter bikes to powerful V-twin combinations and even cars and commercial vehicles. They were at the absolute pinnacle of the industry. In 1921 alone, an AJS rider, Howard R. Davies, won both the junior and senior TT races on the same 350cc bike, a feat that has never been repeated. The record books were filled with AJS's name, holding an incredible 117 world records by the end of the decade. But as the roaring 20s came to a close, so did this golden era. The Great Depression of 1929 hit hard. The company had diversified perhaps too much, stretching its resources thin with cars, buses, and even radios. Despite their racing glory, the financial reality was grim. By 1931, the once mighty AJS was in liquidation. It was a shocking fall from grace. But that's not where the story ends. The motorcycle division, along with the prestigious AJS name, was purchased by another iconic London-based manufacturer, Matchless. The Stevens brothers' direct involvement was over, but their legacy was set to continue. Under Matchless ownership, AJS motorcycles were now produced in Plumstead, London. For a time, the two brands maintained separate identities, a practice known as badge engineering. You could buy a bike that was virtually identical, just with either an AJS or a Matchless logo on the tank. The racing spirit, however, was kept alive. The AJS Porcupine, a 500cc twin-cylinder racer, was developed just before World War II. It was a marvel of engineering, featuring a forward-facing cylinder layout for superior cooling. Another iconic post-war model was the AGS 7R, affectionately known as the Boy Racer. It was a privateer's dream, relatively affordable, reliable, and incredibly competitive. For nearly 2 decades, the 7R was a common sight in the winner's circle at club races and national championships worldwide. In the 1950s, Matchless and AJS, now under the parent company Associated Motorcycles, continued to produce solid, reliable single and twin-cylinder road bikes. Models like the AJS Model 16 and the larger Model 20 were the workhorses of their day, providing dependable transport for thousands. They were known for their robust construction and classic British styling. But by the 1960s, the tide was turning again. The British motorcycle industry was facing a new, formidable challenge from Japan. The sophisticated, oil-tight, and high-performance machines from Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki began to dominate the market. AMC, like many other British firms, struggled to keep up. They lacked the investment and modern production techniques to compete effectively. In 1966, the financial strain became too much, and AMC collapsed. The once great names of AJS and Matchless were sold off once more, this time to Norton Villiers, a new conglomerate. Under this new ownership, the classic four-stroke AJS line was discontinued. The focus shifted entirely to off-road competition. For a brief period in the late 60s and early 70s, AJS found a new lease on life in the world of motocross and scrambling. The AJS Stormer, powered by a two-stroke Villiers Starmaker engine, became a very successful competition machine. It was a raw, no-frills bike built for one purpose: winning off-road. And it did, bringing AJS back into the limelight one last time in the competitive arena. However, this revival was short-lived. By the mid-1970s, the Norton Villiers Triumph Group also fell into financial trouble, and production of the AJS Stormer ceased. It seemed, for all intents and purposes, that the AJS story had finally come to an end after more than 70 years of incredible highs and devastating lows. But a name this legendary is hard to keep down. In 1974, Fluff Brown, the longtime competition manager for AJS, bought the rights to the name and the remaining parts. He started a small, family-run business in Andover, Hampshire, continuing to supply parts for the Stormer and eventually building new AJS-branded off-road bikes for clubman racers. And that's where the AJ's name lives on today. The company, now run by Fluff's son Nick, has adapted to the modern market. While they no longer build World Championship-winning racers, AJS Motorcycles Limited produces a range of affordable, small-capacity learner bikes and retro-styled scooters. They are a tribute to the brand's heritage, offering classic British styling for a new generation of riders. From the workshop of the Stevens brothers to the top step of the World Championship podium. And from financial collapse to a quiet but proud modern revival, the story of AJS is a true epic. It's a tale of innovation, passion, incredible success, and the resilience of a name that simply refuses to fade away. It's a vital chapter in the grand book of motorcycling history. Thank you so much for joining me on this ride through the history of the AJS Motorcycle Company. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And for more stories from the golden age of motorcycling, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Ride safe, and see you on the next one.